Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video. And today we have day 2, round 3, draft picks officially done. So I decided to put out videos for everybody wondering just when those were going to get done. So yes, day 2 is done. I'm going to work on day 3 probably here in the next couple of hours, get them started, all that fun stuff, and get hopefully at least round 4 done, and then potentially round 5 and 6, maybe tomorrow, and then day 7 eventually down the road. I'm not too worried about day 7. Let's be honest. Are you really wanting to play with a 64 overall player that's probably not going to make your roster, that you're probably going to send down to practice squad immediately? Not really, right? You're probably not going to keep them. As much as you probably want them, you're probably not going to care about them anyway. You know, Madden has a hard time of even keeping the players that I create as rookies. Madden franchise has a hard time of keeping those players around, even the low 70 guys. So it's, kind of up in the air, right? But let's get things underway. First and foremost, there is a couple things I do want to go over. Of course, this is a PS5 exclusive roster. Sorry. Somebody tried to say that the files are cross-share. I don't think they are, because I don't have Bengals cross-share draft class. So I don't think files are cross-share, and I'm pretty sure they even said that before the Madden came out. Because I know they were like, oh, cross-play's coming. And then they were like, just kidding. It's only cross-play for game modes. For only, Ultimate Team and playing with each other on quick play or something like that. So that's that. It's a PS5 exclusive roster. Sorry to anybody that's on Xbox or PC. I'm pretty sure there's pretty decent guys out there. I think that franchise guy is on Xbox, and I know the PC probably does a good job with the modding stuff. So so you should have a roster available to you no matter what. I know I talked to one creator last year when me and him were having discussions about Madden 23 and creating the rookies and stuff, and I know he was on Xbox. I think it's Vic. I don't know if he's doing rosters this year or not. I don't know how good of rosters he does. I'm not going to speak on somebody else's behalf. So you can go check out other people. This is a PS5 exclusive roster. Next thing I do want to say is all the rookies I create are based upon a couple things. They're based off of their athletic rating on the NFL website. They're based off of player comps. They're based off of highlight reels. Yes, I know highlight reels aren't the best way of judging a player, but it does get me a good basis of seeing the dude in action, in full speed, all that fun stuff, right? And especially players like running backs, receivers, stuff like that. It's going to give me a good look of what they do well, right? Because if they're showing up open a lot of the time in their highlight reel, what are they probably going to be good at? Route running, releasing, separation, creating separation, not worrying having to catch it in traffic. Oh, this dude's a big jump ball threat, and he keeps catching shit over the top of the defenders. Oh, he's going to be a deep threat. He's going to be a guy that can catch the ball well with guys around him. There are some positions that show better on their highlight reels that I'm able to create, right? And then, of course, like I said, overalls are based upon when a player is picked and not how I think of a player. It's the most fair way to accurately judge somebody and give them a decent overall, as well as just everything else. Now, of course, kicker, punters, and quarterbacks all have their own specific designated overall system, just based upon what I feel like putting in there, just so that it doesn't break the game. Because last year, I had Bryce Young as an 81 and CJ Stroud as an 80, and then, you had this guy and then you had Anthony Richardson at like a 78. And don't get me wrong, I still believe in a lot of those quarterbacks. It's just it would kind of break Madden, and that's not really what I want to do for you guys. So there is that. So let's get into things and let's get things underway. First and foremost, you guys want to head over to the creation tab or the little NFL icon. Head over to share and manage files. Go to download community files. We are a top 5 file, so you guys will be able to find it relatively easy. Or you guys can search up my online ID, which I am hovering over right now on the screen, which is GreenMachineSam. No special characters, no capitalization needed, and no numbers in my name. Of course, I am uploading it every time I get it done, so there is that. 167,000 downloads. By the time you guys see this should probably be pushing hopefully about 180. It's a very good, very, very good roster. Madden 25 roster update number 1 offseason last year. I'm pretty sure we were the number 1 offseason roster in 2022 as well. 2024 draft is now open. I go ahead and state a couple players that have signed in recent days to teams. I'm not going to be worried about the undrafted free agent guys for now. Picks 1 through 100 are done. You guys are going to want to go ahead and download it. You have to download it every time you want the new update, of course. If you don't download it, you're not going to have the new update. It's as simple as that. You can save it as a new file, which means basically naming it something else, or overwrite your old file. If you already have it downloaded, it just replaces your old copy. Then you guys are going to head over to load and delete, go to roster, so push R1 on your controller when you're sitting on profile, go over to roster, and you can load the roster. Now, of course, there's two different versions. Not really, they're just named differently just for sakes of having two rosters, just in case one does become corrupted, then at least I'm able to still upload the other one. So Madden 25 or Madden 24 roster update, you will load it. I load it twice just to be safe so I don't have to come back here at all. Then you guys are going to head out. If you guys could drop a rating on it and give it a like if you enjoy the roster, I would appreciate that. I really, really would, as a lot of work has went into this roster. I think I'm already at like 15 hours right now or something close to that mark. So a lot of work has went into this roster. I'm gonna put that as easily as possible. We'll just go in order of when the rookies were taken to make it a little bit easier. So Malachi Corley here out of Western Kentucky, 5'11", 210 wide receiver. He didn't have a jersey number that I was able to select for him that was, accurate to what he wore in college, so I just had to give him something. Here is, of course, Trey Benson out of Florida State going to the Cardinals. Brandon Coleman going to the Commanders. I think I have him listed as a guard right now. I do. If you want to kick him out to tackle, you can. Of course, that will mess with his overall a little bit, so you may have to mess with it if you do want to keep it at a 70. One thing I forgot to mention is on players, whether they're free agents or draft picks, I cannot do several different things. I cannot change name. Well, I can change name. I cannot change age, contract numbers, that is contract years, and money. There's ways around it to be able to get the correct contract years, up to 3 years, of course. But the actual money I cannot change. I cannot change experience. I cannot change dev trait, and I might be missing a thing here too. But that is the main gist of it. So I can't move Ricky Stromberg from a rookie to a second-year guy. That type of stuff. One thing I do want to state about rookies before we move any further is their portrait is not supposed to be accurate to what they look like in real life. Their portrait or the head that I pick for them is based upon how they look in their helmet, in their equipment, going into a game. So that gives a more accurate representation. Because I know a lot of you guys are going to be playing franchise, and I'd rather have my rookie look correct in the game than on the fucking roster management screen. I'm sorry, but I can get over the fact of this not looking completely and 100% like Brandon Coleman. Granted, I don't think there's any faces that look completely 100% like Brandon Coleman. So it's either have him look correct in franchise 100% or have him look semi-correct on the roster management screen. I'm going to go with in the franchise, in the game part of it. If you don't agree with that, you can do you. You can go change it if you want. Next is Caden Wallace, a tackle out of Penn State. He was across from Fashun. I don't know where Micah Wenahue will go. I don't know if he'll slide over into guard and take over for Sidney So, or if he'll take over for Cole Strange, or if he'll go all the way over to left tackle, or if Caden Wallace goes all the way over to left tackle. I didn't keep up with the Patriots draft class, so I don't know if they took a left tackle at some point, but that could be a conversation of one of those guys moving over. Next, and certainly not least, is the Chargers. They took Junior Colson. This was a guy I struggled on. Like I said, the reason why it's taking longer, this is what I said in the round 2 draft picks video, was the edit menus are so fucking dog shit this year. The edit gear menus, the fucking edit player appearance is just so dog shit. And I don't know how player models went backwards, but player models are so fucking bad this year when creating rookies. Half the time they turn out the same, or half the time I can't get them small enough or big enough to accurately represent the player. So here's Junior Colson. Like I said, player portrait's not accurate. It's more about hair coming out of the back of the helmet, how big their head looks, how big their neck is, what their face looks like inside the helmet, all that fun stuff. I'm not worried about the player portrait on the roster management screen. Andrew Phillips out of, Kentucky for the Giants. He is a corner. He's right here. So he will be coming in for them. Isaiah Adams for the Cardinals. So going back to the Cardinals now. He is a Cardinals guard. So I did have him at right guard. I think he's supposed to be starting at left guard, so we can easily move him over later. I'll move him over later. I'll clean up a lot of the rosters, especially when I'm going through and doing depth charts later down the board. Once I get about the 5th round done, I will probably be moving on to accurately putting in, of course, depth charts, getting custom depth charts, putting Cooper Beebe here. I know he's supposed to slide into center. That is the plan for him as of right now. For now, we are going to leave him at guard because I will have to mess with his overall, of course, as well. Braylon Trice, another Washington Husky coming out into the draft. He is going to the Falcons, being a edge rusher, going to be competing with Lorenzo Carter. Then the Bears took their next guy in Kieran. I'm not even going to say that name. I don't know how the fuck to say that name. Backup swing tackle project piece. He should be that third tackle for us going forward. Jonah Ellis, the edge rusher that I particularly liked, going to the Broncos. Like I said, I'm trying to give jersey numbers based upon what they wore in college. If their jersey number is available, I'm going to give it to them. Even if it's maybe out of position, I'm going to give it to them as of right now. Some players I'm more willing to adjust than anything. There was the DJ Glaze. Oh. Okay, so his name must have been updated on... Okay, I guess I fucking didn't put his last name in. Or maybe I'm not allowed to put it in. Let's see here. Delmar Glaze. Yes. On NFL Draft Tracker, it says DJ Glaze. So, that's nice. Kalen Bullock, a safety, has potential apparently to start at corner. I'm going to leave him at safety for now. If you want to move him down to corner, you can. But then again, there's a lot of talent there. Of course, Okuda and, of course, others just maybe aren't as significant as they should be. Matt Goncalves out of Pitt. He went to the Colts. I put him at right tackle because of the fact that Braden Smith has had some injuries over the last couple seasons. There is rumors that he can slide into guard. Will Fries is there. I don't know how likely that is. And Bernard Raymond stepped up last year according to Madden, so we're going to leave him at right tackle for now. Then you have Jermaine Burton going to the Bengals. I think this is where the drop-off happened. Well, not quite. It was up at DeMar Glaze. So Jermaine Burton, wide receiver out of Bama there. He is, once again, player portraits not being accurate to the player, being more accurate to the player in the helmet. And then Christian Haynes out of Connecticut going to the Seahawks. So there he is. He is coming out of Connecticut, Christian Haynes. I would assume it'll be Bradford and Lincoln Thompson starting for that center, for that guard spot. Potentially even one of them moving into center, and George Fant there as well. So they have a decent amount of O-line depth. Rip Tiemann out of Illinois going to the Cardinals, one of the teams that had the most draft picks through the first 3 rounds. So there he is. Blake Corum going to the Rams. Going to check him out as well. And check out all the rookies, of course. Blake Corum here. Like I said, if you don't like them, you can change them. You can do what you want once you download the roster. Just don't take credit for my roster. I think that's kind of scummy, in my opinion. The Steelers ended up getting, of course, Roman Wilson. The joke on the desk for a lot of the night was that the Steelers were taking back-to-back Wilsons, and then they brought in Russell Wilson. Zach Zinter going to the Browns. I'm kind of confused. Is Wyatt Teller or Joel Patonio off contract? No. Okay. So I don't know why they're drafting him. Maybe one of them had injuries last year that I'm not thinking of. Dominic Puni going to the 49ers. He'll probably compete with Spencer Burford in that first, off season to see who will probably be the better fit in the starting center going forward. Cowboys took a linebacker. I do know Demarion Overshone changed his number. The reason why I had so many linebackers at middle linebacker, not left and right, is because I didn't want to have to release somebody and not have the player depth. Now with the fact that they do have a lot of player depth at those linebackers positions, I can kind of move them around. When Leighton Vander Esch did retire, it kind of put a dent on things, and I wasn't going to be able to release players if any of them did end up leaving for any given reason. The Green Bay Packers went out and got Marshawn Lloyd. Tyke Smith went to the Buccaneers. A lot of people are pretty high on him, so he will be heading to the Buccaneers to help back up. I think he'll probably be looking to compete for that 4th or 5th safety role. Elijah Jones going to the Cardinals. He is down here. 69 overall. Nice. Tyron Hopper. 2 guys that you have seen already going back-to-back here. He is a linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. I'm 90% sure this dude's supposed to be a middle linebacker. I'm like 90% sure. If he's not, let me know. I'll gladly fix him. The Buccaneers also taking another guy, and then then we're done with the Green Bay and Bucks run. Jalen McMillan out of Washington, that third guy. Adisa Isaac out of Penn State. Ravens love drafting their guys out of Penn State. They have Oweh, and then they have Ojabo out of Michigan, and Isaac. I can probably move a couple of these guys over to left. I think we'll probably move Oweh and probably Isaac over. And then, of course, Malik Harrison. Wasn't he a fucking middle linebacker for the longest time? So they must have just moved him in the last couple seasons. Jalix Hunt, a edge out of Houston Christian University. I don't think I was able to find Houston Christian University, so I did have to put him at just Houston. He is there, 69 overall. Pretty deep edge rushers for the Eagles, so there will be an uphill battle for him to try to get onto the field. The Buffalo Bills took a D tackle in Dwayne Carter, so here he is coming in, hopefully having some type of success. Jarian Jones goes to the Jaguars, another corner going off. Like I said, the run of corners in this round was fucking insane. I'm going to go take a look at another rookie that you guys have already seen on the day 2 video. McKinley Jackson out of Texas A&M, a run stopper, hopefully coming in, filling in that void of DJ Reader. Chris Jenkins, more of that pass rusher type of guy. Peyton Wilson, a guy that's been injury prone over the last couple seasons, apparently doesn't have an ACL, going to the Steelers out of NC State. Gave him 41 because he wore 11. I figured 41 looks pretty decent on him. Cameron Kitchens going to the LA Rams, going the wrong way here. Cameron Kitchens going to come in, potentially start, or at least compete against Yeast, Lake, and Cameron Curl. And then, of course, Luke McCaffrey going to the Washington Commanders. Probably one of the more surprising picks there. He'll be going to the Washington Commanders. So that is that. That is round 3 rookies. Of course, like I've said before, if you guys don't like some of the rookies or some of the attributes I gave some of the rookies, you guys are more than welcome to change them. Just don't try to take credit for my roster if you guys do decide to upload your roster. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I can't change dev traits or anything like that. So once you hop into a franchise, you guys are going to have to fix that. There are some second round rookies based off upon their overall and stuff that you will have to go take the 5th year off. All the first year guys do have a fifth year added. You can kind of leave that if you want to force teams to pick up their 5th year option if you really want them to. Of course, the money isn't going to be correct, but still, you can do that if you want. But because you're not going to get that 5th year option in Madden if you play the franchise itself, because it won't be realistic, because it won't register that they are a drafted rookie. Like I said, I put a ton of time and effort into this roster. If you guys don't enjoy it, you guys don't have to play with it. It's as simple as that. I do appreciate all the support you guys have been showing on both the YouTube page, the YouTube channel, and of course on the roster. I really do appreciate all the support you guys have shown me. I'll get the 4th round done whenever I get it done. I'll get the 5th round done soon after that. 6th and 7th rounds are different questions just because a lot of those guys are going to be super low overall. A lot of those guys are going to be 66 and 67s and 64s through potentially a couple of them being 67s. I don't have my exact layout in front of me, so I couldn't tell you, but a lot of those guys are going to be lower overall, right? A lot of the 6th and 7th round guys are going to be 64s, 65s, 66s, it's a real big question mark of whether or not I even want to make them. Slash is it even going to do anything for me? So I'll probably end up getting them in if I have the time and the energy or the effort or whatever. But for now, the first 3 rounds are done. So if you really want to start a franchise, I think this is a good enough stopping point for you guys to be able to make those franchises if you really want to hop into them. If you don't and you want to wait for the 4th and 5th round rookies, they should be done with the next 3 or 4 days. Hopefully I'll be able to get them done and get them out to you guys so you guys can start your franchises, because I know at least the first 5 rounds are probably the most important, where the 6th and 7th are going to be those practice squad guys or those very big projects. Super low ceilings, not high, super low floors, not very high ceiling type of players, special teamers, practice squad players, bodies on the depth chart type of situation, not going to be those superstar level guys. And look, you can sit here and say Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. That's lucky. It's a quarterback. It's a different story. It was in a different time, With that being said, guys, like I said, if you guys enjoy this roster or any other content here on my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys do stick around and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos like this in the future. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.